Hey y'all, it's Tamisha and welcome back to Did You Say Something? If you didn't know, this podcast actually started because of the Planner Wedding magazine. We launched the magazine in December 2021 and ran strong through December 2024. It became a space for couples who wanted more than surface level wedding talk. After 3 great years, we paused, not to quit, but to regroup, breathe, and plan for what's next. And now we're coming back with fresh new issues in 2026. The podcast was born from that same energy, real conversations about what happens before the wedding and everything that follows. Because the day is important, but the marriage, the life you build, that's the real work. And if you're planning right now and need support, my team at FMTY Weddings and Corporate Events is here for that too. We plan intimate, purposeful events across Georgia, the Carolinas, and beyond. You can learn more at theplannerwedmagazine.com and fmtyweddings&events.com. Now, let's get into this week's episode. Let's get this going. Let's get this going, boom. Let's get this going. Let's get this going. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Did You Say Something? I'm your host, Tamisha Kinlock Carter, certified corporate and wedding planner, event strategist, entrepreneur, and editor-in-chief of the Planner Wedding and Lifestyle magazine. If this is your very first time joining me, welcome. I'm so grateful that you're here. And if you've been listening since the beginning, thank you for coming back. It truly means more than you will ever know. This is season 4, episode 23, and I couldn't think of a better conversation to have as we begin this next chapter together. So, did you say something? Because if you did, let's talk about it right here and right now. I have to be honest. It's good to be back. You may have noticed that it's been a few months since my last episode. If you were wondering where I disappeared to, the answer is actually pretty simple. I wasn't gone. I was building. And sometimes we think progress has to be loud for it to be meaningful. But I've learned that some of the most important work happens quietly, behind the scenes, away from the spotlight, when no one is applauding and no one sees the late nights. They don't see the revisions. They don't hear the prayers or the moments when you're simply trying to figure out what's next. That's where I've been. And today, I'm so excited to finally share what all of that work has been leading up to. Several years ago, for people who have been a part of this journey with me, they know that I launched the Planner Wedding magazine with one goal: to inspire couples as they planned one of the most meaningful days of their lives. Over time, though, I started asking myself a deeper question. What happens after the wedding? Because the wedding is one beautiful day. Marriage is a lifetime. And beyond marriage, there's life itself. We have our homes, we have our families, we have our friendships, our careers, our celebrations, our faith, our purpose. I can go on. And the moments that shape who we become. I realized that while weddings would always be a part of my heart, my mission had grown. I no longer wanted to create a publication that simply celebrated beautiful weddings. And although in past issues I highlighted lifestyle, I wanted to make sure that in this season that I create something that celebrated lives, beautiful lives. That's when I knew it was time to pause, reflect, and reimagine what the magazine could become. So today, I'm thrilled to officially welcome you to the relaunch of the Planner Wedding and Lifestyle magazine. Notice there's one very important word that's been added: lifestyle. That one word represents so much more than a name change. It represents growth. It represents purpose. It represents a broader vision. This magazine is still a trusted resource for engaged couples, wedding professionals, and anyone planning meaningful celebrations. But now, it's also a place where we talk about intentional living, relationships, entertaining, travel, hospitality, entrepreneurship, personal growth, and creating a life that's just as beautiful as the events we celebrate. Because I believe elegance isn't reserved for just weddings. Elegance can be found in the way we live every day. The relaunch issue is titled "The Logistics of Elegance," and I couldn't imagine a more fitting theme. Here's the cover. When people think about elegance, they often picture luxury linens, breathtaking floral arrangements, or candlelit receptions. And yes, those details do matter. But after years of planning weddings and events, I've learned that the true elegance begins long before the guests arrive. It's in the preparation. It's in the thoughtful timeline. It's in the communication. It's in the backup plan that no one ever notices because everything flowed so seamlessly. That's what I mean when I talk about the logistics of elegance. The beauty people see is often a result of countless intentional decisions that never have to think about. They never have to think about. And honestly, I think that's true in life as well. The lives we admire are often built on intentional choices that no one else gets to witness. If you followed my journey for a while, you know one phrase has always guided my work. I want my clients to be present at their own event. To be present at their own event. I still believe that with all of my heart. But I've come to realize that the same principle applies beyond the weddings. I want people to be present in their own lives. Not so consumed with perfection that they miss the joy. And I'm a Virgo, and perfection means a lot to me. But be present. Not so focused on impressing others that they forget what matters most. Not so busy managing every detail that they forget to actually experience the moment. That has become part of my own journey. Like I said, I'm a Virgo, and I hope these conversations encourage you to slow down, breathe deeply, celebrate intentionally, and truly enjoy the life you've been building. Moving forward, this podcast is going to become an extension, more in depth, of the magazine. Some episodes will dive deeper into stories that you've read. Some will take you behind the scenes of creating the magazine. We'll talk weddings. We'll talk business. We'll talk lifestyle. We'll have honest conversations about relationships, purpose, hospitality, leadership, and what it means to build something meaningful. Most importantly, I hope every episode leaves you with something you can carry into your own life. Because that's always been in my heart. Not just to inspire you, but to serve you as well. Before I close today's conversation, I simply want to say thank you. Thank you to every person who has supported me over the years since 2021. To every client who trusted me with one of the most important days of their lives. To every reader, every listener, every friend, every family member, every person who has encouraged me when I question whether I should keep going. Thank you. This relaunch isn't just about a magazine. It's about faith, growth, resilience, and having the courage to begin again with greater clarity than before. If you haven't explored the new issue of the Planner Wedding and Lifestyle magazine, I invite you to do that this week. I want you to take your time. I want you to read the stories. I want you to share them with someone you love. And then I want you to come back here because this is only the beginning. We've got so many meaningful conversations ahead, and I truly can't wait to share them with you, my listeners, my supporters. Before we go, I'd like to leave you with this week's editor's note. Sometimes we think we have to keep moving in order to keep growing. Sometimes we think we have to keep moving in order to keep growing. But growth doesn't always happen while we're running. Sometimes growth happens in the pause. Sometimes the pause isn't punishment, it's preparation. So if you're in a season where things seem quiet, don't assume nothing is happening. Continue planting, continue trusting, continue showing up. Because when the time is right, everything you've been building in private will be ready to bloom in public. Thank you for spending this time with me. And if today's conversation encouraged you, I'd love for you to continue it inside the Planner Wedding and Lifestyle magazine, where every issue is thoughtfully curated to help you celebrate life's most meaningful moments with intention. And as always, until next time, keep planning with purpose, keep celebrating intentionally, and keep living this life beautifully. I'm Tamisha Kinlaw Carter, and this has been another episode of Did You Say Something? Hopefully I will see you in our next conversation is what I'm trying to say. Cheers and see you next time. This episode is brought to you by the Planner Wedding Magazine, a wedding planning and lifestyle magazine for couples who love beautiful details but still want a solid plan. We're relaunching digital issues this year, plus releasing one collector's print edition you want to keep. Get inspiration, practical guidance, and planning tools that make decisions easier. Visit theplannerwedmagazine.com and join the relaunch.